Where do we go from here? Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Tony Cutillo here, Heat Ratio Sports. What is going on with the Phillies? The Phillies search for answers. And I was on here the other day and asked, is it going to be full blown panic? Is it going to be full blown panic? Or are we ready to go? Oh my God, I'm going to have a different viewpoint for that. I'm going to have a different opinion, and I want to hear what your opinion is. Are you packing it in? Or I already heard people fire the coach, get rid of the coach. Bryce Harper needs to be benched, man. Everybody just relax. Everybody just relax. That's all I need everybody to do. Just take a moment and relax. And tell me what you're thinking is going on, because I'm going to give you my opinion. Okay. I'm going to give you my opinion of what's going on. I want to give you my opinion of why it's okay. That I'm glad this happened. You might think I'm crazy right now, but I'm telling you right now, I'm glad this happened because better now than later. As always, make sure you're getting in windailysports.com. If you are a sports bettor, or if you're not a sports bettor, you want to get involved right here, go to windailysports.com, use promo code HEAT, ATAT, 50% off all memberships, courtesy of me. Okay, courtesy of me. It's like Christmas in July, we're calling it, but with a little heat. Okay, so heat, 50% off heat. Make sure you get it, whether it's a week, a month, a year. I'll tell you right now, you get $250 off for the entire year, half the price for an entire year. And I will be your personal concierge. I will help you whatever you need to understand how it works. Now, talking about the Phillies, let's think about this for a minute. We went through, I'm not going to go bore you with all the numbers. We know the numbers. We know what Bryce Harper did. We understand what happened, right? We understand it all. I don't have to go about it. DJ LeMahieu looked like a stud. I understand. Everybody was mad about Austin Hayes. I saw the tweets. I get it. Everybody just relax. So we've watched this before, okay? We've watched this before. And you know what? We watched this before? We watched it in the playoffs. We watched it in the playoffs. You know who against? The Arizona Diamondbacks. Think about it. We've watched it before. So I'm glad this happened. And you want to know why this is happening? This goes to show everything that I've been saying for so long. Baseball is such a long season. And these players on this team, for the most part, 90% of these guys have played well beyond expectations, meaning the fatigue level is going to be a lot greater than a lot of other players. It just is. You know why? Because they pressed so much over the last 2 years, the way they backed their way in to the playoffs, and they had to exert so much energy. And not only that, how about how much energy they've exerted in the beginning of this year to just wipe away all the concerns that they weren't going to start out slow, that they weren't going to have the same oops again, that they weren't going to have to backdoor themselves into the playoffs. They got off to this tremendously big lead. They got off to one of the hottest starts ever in Major League Baseball, especially for Philadelphia. But that all comes with a price. It comes at a price of tiredness. It comes at a price of fatigue. It comes at a price of, mental fatigue. It's not just physical, it's mental. You hear the ebbs and flows. You hear about that all the time. But the most important thing is that it's happening now, in my opinion. And I'm glad it's happened now. Let them go through it now. And guess what? We flip the page to August, and again, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. And I'm glad it happened because it didn't happen like this last year. It didn't happen like this the year before. It's happened now. So I'd much rather it happen now while they have the cushion. They can work their way back through it. Don't worry. Zach Wheeler is fine. It happened. Aaron Nola pitched a hell of a game. Okay. Sir Christopher Sanchez, except for the bad pitch to DJ LeMahieu, he pitched okay. And I think you have to look at other things throughout this game and this series after the trade deadline. That's got to make you excited. Yes, I am saying excited. Austin Hayes shows. Listen, he's showing you he can play in that position. And exactly what I said yesterday, I hope everybody listens. Okay. I hope everybody listens. Again, make sure you're listening to these streams because I'm saying this because I firmly believe it. What did I say yesterday? The best thing I liked about the Austin Hayes move is that the platoon that they're able to do, and they're able to give Rojas that spot to do exactly what he did yesterday. Come in, pinch run, and score. Okay. Exactly what Rojas has to do. So this is giving them that opportunity. So I'd like to see that. I was very happy with that. I also was happy. Listen, Estevez, whatever you want to call him. Okay. The dude pitched phenomenal. How about my man Banks coming in 7, 8 pitches? Boom, shuts them down. Right. We are searching for answers, but we're slowly but surely getting that reinforcement that we need that this team is going to be okay. It is. I'm not ready to jump off the bridge. I'm not ready to go crazy. I'm not. I'm going to be honest with you. I am. I'm going to be honest. I'm not ready because I'm looking at it a different way than most. I'm looking at it a different way than most. I'm looking at it as if we're going through what we went through the last couple years in the postseason. We're going through that now, and I will take that any day of the week. My man Adam checking in says, "Got to take it game by game. Let it play out." I agree. Adam says, "I think Harper needs to take time to get back on track, clear his mind with a day off." I completely agree. I give him a day off. Give him a day off. Listen, I don't understand, or I don't think people understand how hard players like a Bryce Harper put in to their craft. That dude works harder than most. In the beginning of the year, when everybody was out for Nick Castellanos and said this guy's a bum, this guy can't hit, this guy did this guy did that, I kept saying, man, this dude works so hard. He works so hard in the cage, the extra work. He works so hard, and eventually it's going to flip because when you work and work and work, it's going to flip, and it did. 14 RBIs in his past 10 games. I mean, the guy's been exceptional, probably the best player on the team offensively over this stretch, right? 100%, man, 100%. So the same thing with Bryce. He puts so much into his craft. Yes, I agree with everybody. He needs a day off, but these people that are calling up saying he needs to be benched, absolutely ridiculous. Rich says, I'm not worried. Teams go through slumps. It's highs and lows of the season. I completely agree. Completely agree that Bryce needs some rest as well. Yes, absolutely. My man Javon checking this says, once the top of the line starts hitting, they'll be fine. Schwarber's doing a job of getting on base. 2, 3. Listen, you're right. 2, 3, 4. I don't care who they bring in. These people that say they needed another bat. They needed. Come on, stop it. Stop it. You're fooling yourself, man. That has nothing to do with this. If I see another person, they needed another power hitter. Like, come on, man. Like, understand the game a little bit. Understand that. Look, it's funny. I thought one of the best, and I want to get into something in a minute, but I thought one of the best things I heard today was people calling in about batting averages, and we need a player better than Austin Hayes, and it was on a Fanatic, and Tyrone Johnson was like, you do understand that Austin Hayes batting 256 would be the third best average on the New York Yankees instantly, right? So he's so right. We're complaining about a guy who's hitting 256 and on a team, okay, that's full of tremendous hitters. Okay, so we have to relax. And speaking of that, I do want to make a comment about this crazy industry that we all love, right? Called sports media. And another lie drops today that, in my opinion, everybody knows I'm a Rob Ellis guy. I love Robbie E. You've heard him. I've had him on Sirius multiple times. And another guy I really respect and really enjoyed was Bob Cooney. And find out today that Bob Cooney is no longer with the Fanatic. He came out and he said he found out today was his last show. After the show, which sucks. I liked Bob at middays. I really did. I thought he was one of the last OGs, right? So Bob has been a beat reporter. He's been in the locker room. He's covered teams, and he didn't fabricate things. He didn't make things up. I mean, Bob was a stand-up guy, man. He was a guy you could have a beer with, at a bingo hall. That's who he was, and he taught a great game, man. So I wish Bob the best. He'll wind up somewhere. And I will say this. I know Bob Cooney's not listening to Heat Ratio Sports right now and not listening to this, but I will say this about Bob. Hey, Bob, let me tell you something. I am starting a show, the Tony Cutillo show, September 9th, every single day. I would love to have you here. I would love to be side by side with the great Bob Cooney. I will gladly name it the Tony and Bob show. I would gladly name it Cooney and Cutillo. Whatever you want, man. I would love to have you. I think we would do tremendous work. I think it would be great. I think we could get a hell of an audience, and I think that, listen, man, it's time to just go digital, man. It's time to go digital. You see what Gargano's doing with PHLY, which I think is fantastic. I love the full digital product. It shows that you can do things that, listen, if you're on a dial, great. My man Rich, CNC Sports Talk, man. Listen, I am gonna listen. I promise you guys this. I do not know Bob Cooney personally. The most I know of him is by tweeting at him and listening to his show and getting a response and a thank you. But I am going to reach out and I am going to see what his plans are. And I would love to have him on a Monday to Friday show, man. We'll go around, we'll invest, we'll get the sponsors, whatever we got to do. But I think I would love to share a stage with Bob Cooney, man. I do. I think he's a great dude. So hopefully, who knows? At least have him on as a guest, but it would be great. Yeah, I don't get it, Javon. I have no idea. I thought Bob and Amy were doing a fantastic job. Now, I don't know. I mean, it's spurring the rumors of Mike Missinelli. Does he come back? Is he coming back? I listen, man, I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'll never understand it. Yeah, he knows his stuff. He knows what he's talking about. I mean, look, I know the stations have to make money decisions and things of that nature, but my whole thing is this. I just don't understand. And I say this honestly. Okay. So let's just play devil's advocate here. Let's say Mike Missinelli is coming back, right? Let's say he is coming back. Okay. So does that mean you have to get rid of Bob Cooney? Like you can't find a spot for Bob Cooney? Like you can't say, "Hey Bob, Mike's coming back. We want to put him on middays. Would you mind moving back to the morning show or would you mind moving to here?" I mean, I don't understand. Like I don't understand why you just have to out Bob Cooney. I don't get it. I don't. I thought he was tremendous. And I hope, listen, if anybody watches this stream on playback and anybody enjoys my content and thinks and knows Bob Cooney personally, man, and can get in Bob's ear, I'm going to try to get in Bob's ear. I think it's just perfect timing. I think it would be fantastic. I would love to plan out a show. And listen, man, an hour long every day. I know. Listen, I'm sure he's going to have plenty of opportunities, and this is not going to be, on his pecking order or level. But I do think that this would be a fantastic show every morning, Monday through Friday. CNC Sports Talk, Cooney and Cutillo, whatever it is. I think it's got a great ring to it, and I think that I think it could be something special, man. I do. I think it could be something special. So who knows? We'll see. But what I will say is, again, I don't want to make these long and over redundant. I think Bryce needs the time off, and I think that he will get it. I do. Adam says, you think maybe somebody like, I don't think so. I don't think, I don't think it's somebody that didn't like him. I just think that, if Missinelli is coming back, obviously, listen, Missinelli is probably going to get big money, right? They're going to bring in big money from Missinelli. So I figure, looking at it, it's probably a money move. You got to cut some things, unfortunately. But you know, He says, he would add that calmness when you go into jigsaw mode. You're probably right, man. Even though I heard I've heard Bob get a little crazy every now and then. Really, I have, but I do think that we will definitely see Bob Cooney. I'm just not sure where we're going to see him. Hopefully, we see him on Heat Radio Sports. With Cooney and Cutillo, man. I think that would be awesome. But I'm dreaming. That's never going to happen. Who knows, right? What I should say is who knows, man. Who knows? But listen, the Phillies go on a Big Ten game road trip now, and they're really going to have to spin the wheels here and search for answers. Now, I will say this: I do think that it's probably good for them to go on a road trip. This is the one time I think it's good. I know they play so well at home, but sometimes when you're going through these, ebbs and flows of the game, and you play so well at home, you do put a lot of pressure on yourself at home as well. So I think, getting them away from home is not necessarily going to be a bad thing. But again, everybody has to just relax. Everybody has to calm down. I think there's a lot of good things that we could take away here. It's not a bad thing to give Ranger Suarez some rest. Listen, said this before. Taiwan Walker, you know, it's not the best guy in the world. I understand. But he does bring you a veteran presence. And if he can pitch well enough, listen, it takes some pressure off again. Right? Listen, we are gonna have to get back to knowing who we have and in what format we have. My man Dave, Dave, what's up, buddy? Dave, my man Dave checking in. What's good, my man? It's been a minute for sure. It has been a minute. Again, I'm trying. Just so everybody knows, I'm trying to pop on here, little things here and there. Just as I work this format out. There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. I do have a really cool announcement. I'm gonna put it on social media, but really good dude. Tyler is going to be joining. Tyler Miraz is going to be joining Heat Ratio Sports. He's going to be doing some post and pre games for the Philadelphia Phillies, for the Mariners series. I think we're going to start on Friday. He's going to be doing some other contribution work behind the scenes for HRS as well. I have a couple more people coming on board to do some shows, to drop some content. And again, I'm doing that because I'm trying to really ramp up and to make this the best 1 to 2 hours that you have every single day, in the morning. So my man Rich says, when you go on in the morning, what time? I'm going to go 10 a.m., man. And just, I do want to say this. I have to. Let's clear the air, man. I am not here, contrary to popular opinion, to battle anybody or to try to take a spot or, anything like that. Um, Again, all I want to do is do something that I've always wanted to do. That I've never had the opportunity to do because life did not allow it. Schedules did not allow it. I've always pictured myself as being a morning show host. I've always pictured myself as waking up, feeling that energy, being like the cuz, because that's who I grew up listening to. And again, just every day, Monday through Friday, booking guests like I do on Sirius, bringing some really good content, having some, really cool segments and not talk about like what's your best movie or anything like that. I really want to go old school, man. Like I really want to go old school. I've talked to some great people, even like the great Mark Eckel. I'm a big Mark Eckel fan. I always was a Mark Eckel fan. Talked about Mark Eckel. Me and him are talking about what we can do together as well. I want to really bring on some really cool people to talk real sports, man. Talk real sports, not just vent sessions, not just rants. Just talk about real sports. Bring up some, stuff that's happening yesteryear and how it relates to what happens now, and relive some great memories. That we had. Oh, look at that. Yeah, Mark. Yeah, Rich. Mark hit me up on Facebook when I posted that, and was very interested. And I know he was moving, and we were trying to get together. So he said, "Look, man, I'm very interested. How can I contribute?" So I really, really dig. I dug Mark a long time ago when he was more active. I still dig him now, and again, he's an old school sports guy, man. That's what I want. I want to talk real sports, and that's what this is going to be. Again, you see the tagline, not just Philly, right? Not just Philly, because I want to talk everything. I want to go through all sports, man. All not just Philadelphia, and I think that's important. I have a couple people. Listen, wrestling, big deal. I got some good collaborations coming up as well. You guys know that me and full transparency, me and Tom Arnone from A2D Radio are cordial. We do some things together, and I think there's going to be more things that we do together going forward. As always, the Blue Coats Beat. If you're not subscribed to the Blue Coats Beat, make sure you get subscribed to the Blue Coats Beat. Season 2 coming, more player interviews, more people coming on, man. My man Rich, he says, you know me, wrestling and bowling. Absolutely. And Pete Weber all the way, baby. That's what I want to talk, all sports. And that's the thing, man. Adam says, I like going back in time. Always remember players and teams we always forget about. And that's the thing, Adam. I feel like we're very redundant in this town. And that's kind of like that's why I like doing the Blue Coats Beat with Coach Joe, because we talk about different things and different situations that that people may not be aware of, that we could tell different stories. And I think that's very important. That's why I started the Fighting for Overtime podcast as well. You see it on the bottom right there. All for you sports, and I do those in bunches. I'm getting ready to record about 3 or 4 more episodes as well, with a couple more coaches and former players and more experience that'll kind of make you go, what? And then don't forget about Win Daily Sports, all my fantasy work over there at sports betting work, and we have a tremendous content team over there. Yes, I am everywhere. I try. Again, 50% off all memberships over there at windailysports.com, courtesy of myself and Heat Ratio Sports. I use the promo code HEAT, ATAT, to get involved in as many props and bets as you want. Again, $7.49 at a price per week. I don't think you can beat that anywhere at all. You cannot beat that anywhere. And big announcement, hopefully Friday, that I tell everybody where I will be on Monday nights or Tuesday nights. I can't remember if it's Monday nights or Tuesday nights. I think it's Monday nights. Or no, I think it's Tuesday nights. I'm sorry. Tuesday nights, where I will be on Tuesday nights from 6 to 9, very local establishment in my area. Great guy, great place, real good promos, real good deals. We're going to do it up, man. We're going to have 3 hours of sports talk, straight sports talk for 3 hours. We're going to have live bets for the Phillies games. We're going to have giveaways. We're going to have a lot of good stuff, man. A lot of good stuff, man. Awesome. Rich says, yo, let me know. We'll be up in October. So, Rich, 100%, man. 100%. You know that. And, one of the OGs, I say this, but I truly mean it. When we meet up, you come see me, man. That tab is on me. On me personally. You've been one of the best guys, or best supporters out there. Love you to death, man. You've been amazing, absolutely amazing. So for the last 6 minutes, let's just talk about what we expect on this road trip, and let's talk about what we think is a successful road trip. And if we go 10-game road trip and we go 5 for 5, does that make the panic button go down? Do we have to go 6 and 4? For me, we got to win series again. Like, I don't want if we lose, but we cannot continue to lose series after series, much less get swept. But we can't continue to lose series after series after series. We just cannot do that. It cannot happen. That's something that cannot happen at any moment, at any time. If we want to continue to go where our expectations lie, We have to go back to winning series. We have to get back to the fundamentals. We have to stop pressing, which we saw that a lot, and we just have to get back to playing our brand of baseball. And we also have to understand that we have a lot of things that are working against us as well, right? This is you make a trade deadline, and all of a sudden, or I say you make a couple trades at the trade deadline. What you have to understand is this team is very tight knit, very big culture, very good togetherness. They are one, man. They really are. So when you lose a couple people and you bring in a couple, yes, of course, we talk about how much they're going to mesh and how much they're going to be together, but it's still a big changeover period, right? Think about it. You got a guy Rojas who now is going to be relegated to the bench, right? You have a guy in Bryce Stott who's wondering, is my stroke ever going to come back? Like it looks like it has, which is a good thing. You have JT Realmuto coming back from a serious injury. Say whatever you want, but at his age, with that knee getting cleaned up again, that's an issue, right? It's going to take him some time. You have Bryce Harper up there outthinking himself because he wants to do so much and wants to do so well, and he puts this team on his back so much, right? I honestly think a lot of people didn't like it, but I think the best, the best answer was Trey Turner when he was like, look, we don't think that way. We all the reason that's just for you guys to write about it when they were talking about, is there something wrong? And no, man, he's like, look, we're good. It's just baseball. We're fine. We're great players. We have a great attitude. We're going to be okay. We'll work through it, and they will. Right? They will. This is not a collapse. I want to get that out there. It's not a collapse. Rich says 5-5-6, 5-5, 6-4, 7-3 would be fantastic. Listen, right now I think 6-4 should be what we need to aim for. I do. I think 7-3 would be fantastic. 5-5, I still don't think would get us to that real good gushy feeling, but I do think 6-4 would be where we need to go. Javon says 2-3 for Seattle, LA, and split with Arizona. There's your 6-4, but I can see them easily winning 3 out of 4 in Arizona. That I agree with. I think this Seattle series is going to be key. Seattle has definitely imploded and taken a step back to where they were in the beginning of the year. So I do think, getting the day off tomorrow and then playing Friday night in Seattle in a place where they haven't played much, I think that's going to be a good thing. I do think that they come out revived. And I agree with John Kruk today, where I don't want them to go take tons of batting practice and tons of field. Listen, these guys know how to hit, man. You know what they need? They need a day to just do nothing. They need a day to watch TV, play Xbox, go play NCAA football, go play Madden, go play the show, get on whatever you got to do. Go watch The Sopranos. I don't care, man. Just give your mind a break from baseball. I think that's what they need. And I think that's going to be really good for them. Rich says when they get healthy physically and mentally, they will right the ship. The team is too good not to succeed. Completely agree. 100% without doubt. They are too good to collapse. They're not going to collapse. This happens. Unfortunately, like I said, it just happened to all the players at the same time. And it happens. But I will end this by saying the same thing. We've seen this before the last 2 years. And when we seen it was in the postseason. We don't want to see it in the postseason again. So I'd much rather it happen now, like it has happened. And now get it out of our system, even if it lasts to the second week of August. Now let's right the ship. Let's finish strong for the last 6 weeks of the season. Go hot and heavy into the playoffs and do what we need to do. And that's win a World Series. And that's where we're at. As always, man, Adam, thank you. Great show. I appreciate it. Rich, Javon, Adam, everybody checking in. I really appreciate David, as always, checking in. Much appreciated. Make sure if you're watching us back on stream, 50% off, code word HEAT, go into windailysports.com. Make sure you get your promo HEAT. Make sure you get that 50% off. And it's not just football. It's not just baseball. It's NASCAR. It's the Olympics. It's golf. It's everything. We have prop models there for everything. We have the tools for everything. So if you're getting home late from work and you want to throw a bet in, man, literally in 5 minutes, you can make the bet and be done. Make sure you get involved in that deal today. Again, Philadelphia Phillies, everybody relax. We're going to be okay. Heat Ratio Sports morning show coming. And again, if you know Bob Cooney, man, let him know. Jigsaw is looking for him. Toby's looking for him, man. I want him to be a part of this. This CNC connection has to happen. Let's make it happen. Everybody stay safe. Have a good night, and we'll catch you next time.